In the Japanese, they call it satori. It means instant awakening. The Native Americans, the Aleuts, call it natohi. And it means great seeing. That is, you don't see, you don't see, you don't see, you don't see, and all of a sudden, in one instant, you see. It's a wonderful philosophy. It's a whole lot better than this idea that you have to struggle and you have to get enlightened and you have to fight and you have to set goals and you have to try to get someplace else and you work and your whole life becomes this huge struggle, and then 5 minutes before you die, you say, so this is enlightenment. And then you go, oh my God, this couldn't be the big one, could it? And off you go. It's a very depressing approach to enlightenment. I like this other one a whole lot better. Peak experience. When the student is ready, the teachers will appear. And when the teachers are ready, the students will appear. There's a connection. We are all students. We are all teachers. And when we're ready, whatever we need appears. And I can trace myself back to that day, back in the mid-'60s, and sitting there in that cubicle so many years ago, and reading that and walking into that. And you know something that's really weird? When I went before that group of 4 professors to defend why I should be admitted to the doctoral program, I didn't care. I didn't care if they admitted me or not. I knew that something had been sparked in me that could never, ever be doused. And if they wanted to accept me, fine. And if they didn't, I felt like it was all in order. And I started saying to them, what I am going to do in the mental health professions is I am going to help people to reach their own greatness. I'm going to help them to understand that they have within them an incredible power. And there's a genius in every single one of them. I talked about self-actualization. I talked about higher levels of consciousness. I talked about the fact that every single human being has this and can never be disconnected from it. I talked about letting people be independent of the good opinion of other people. How to help people to detach themselves from outcome and not be so concerned about what it is that they're going to get in their lives. I talked about the difference between the ego and the sacred or the higher part of them. I went off on this wonderful sort of excursion based upon having just read about all of these qualities, about having a sense of purpose, about appreciating beauty, about knowing that there's a reason for myself to be here, and that I am the divine one, and so is everyone that I confront and want to help, and that I'm not what I do, and I'm not what I have, and I'm not what other people think of me. I am something much greater and grander than all of that. I am the beloved. And I can never be disconnected from it. And neither can any of these other people. And I talked about Maslow, and I talked about my experience of reading that. And they accepted me. I got my letter of acceptance a couple of days later. In fact, I remember when I walked out of there and I got home, and my wife said to me, well, how did your speech go? I said, I think I might have screwed up. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, I pretty much put down the entire program that I had had up until then through my master's and told them what I was going to do. She said, that sounds just like you.